Okay, so we're up to Halacha Yomi, page 300. 109. Someone who did not say Havdala on Motzei Shabbat is allowed to say Havdala throughout Sunday until Shkia. However, this is on condition that you didn't eat or drink yet. So you have technically till the end of Sunday, which is Shkia, sunset on Sunday, to say Havdala, only if you didn't eat or drink. Even after Sunday, it's still proper to take a cup of wine, say Baruch HaMavdil Kol Shachol without Hashem's name, and then say a gefen and drink the wine. 110. A person is only permitted to say Havdala on Sunday if he accidentally missed Havdala, or he was unable to say Havdala for reasons that are beyond his control. But if he negligently ignores Havdala and he said, I'll say Havdala later, I'll say it on Sunday, that's not allowed. 111. If a child missed Havdala on Motzei Shabbat, it's proper to teach him to make up Havdala on Sunday even if he ate already. And then 112, if the Shabbat falls on Motzei Shabbat, then Havdala is recited on Sunday night. One may not eat before reciting Havdala. If you did eat before saying Havdala, you should hear Havdala from somebody who didn't eat yet. 113, it's a mitzvah to eat a meal after Shabbat. This is known as Melave Malka, the meal of escorting the queen. There are many zgulot and rewards for the person who eats Melave Malka every week. Okay. Look at footnote 157. It says that several sources quote the fact that Shulchan Aruch dedicated a whole siman, a whole chapter Shulchan Aruch about Melave Malka. So this is to teach us how important it is to do Melave Malka. Okay, 159. Shabbat, Masechet Shabbat says eating warm bread on Motzei Shabbat is good for one's health. And also Melave Malka, the Imrei Esh says it's gula for Parnasah. The Baal Shem Tov, they quote in the name of the Baal Shem Tov, Melave Malka is gula to defeat the Yetzer Hara. And the Ben Ish Chai also says, whoever writes, and the Maran Haida writes, whoever is careful to eat Melave Malka will be saved from chibut kever, the beating of the grave. And then the Yafer Elev, the Kaf HaChaim also brings that the person who pushes himself, even though he's not in the mood to eat, he eats Melave Malka, he will be saved from having to take any medicines. He will always be healthy, gesund. 114, women are also obligated in the Melave Malka. 115, one should preferably eat bread for the meal of Melave Malka. If you're too full to eat bread, you should have some mezonot. And if you're too full to have mezonot, you should at least have some fruit. 116, before eating Melave Malka, you should say, I'm having in mind to fulfill the mitzvah of Melave Malka. You should declare it. 117, one should not have bread on the table during Havdala unless if one will be eating Melave Malka right away after reciting Havdala, unless it's covered. Why is that? Because we want to show that the bread is specifically for Melave Malka. It's only coming after the Shabbat, after the Havdala. 118, it's proper to have lechem mishnah also, 2 whole loaves for Melave Malka. But when reciting the bracha, one should only hold on to one of the loaves. 119, Melave Malka should be eaten as a separate meal after Havdala. But if you're not able to, and you didn't say Birkat Hamazon until after Shabbat was over, you could have in mind to have an additional kazayit of bread for the sake of Melave Malka. 120, one should have the table set with a tablecloth and not remove the tablecloth till after Melave Malka. Preferably, you should also not change your clothes. We're going to see. Better you should do Melave Malka in your Shabbat clothes. 121, it's proper to prepare a fresh dish for Melave Malka and not just to eat leftovers from Shabbat. One should try to even eat meat during this meal. It's more kavod to have meat for Melave Malka. 122, when Yom Tov is on Motzei Shabbat, you should also add a dish into the Yom Tov meal on Motzei Shabbat in the honor of Melave Malka. 123, although Melave Malka can be eaten throughout the entire night, it's preferable to eat it within the first 4 hours of the night, at least before Hatzot. 124, it is proper to refrain from starting a time-consuming melacha before Melave Malka. You should not delay it. You should right away do it. 125, if you fell asleep before eating Melave Malka and you woke up after Hatzot, you could still eat Melave Malka until Alot HaShachar, until dawn. 126, according to most opinions, somebody who forgot to do Melave Malka, you lost out on the mitzvah. However, some opinions say you can make it up on Sunday. When you eat breakfast Sunday, have in mind you're eating a mitzvah of Melave Malka. But that's a debate. 127, near the end of Birkat Hamazon, one should say Magdil, like he says in the regular weekday, not Migdol. That's Rav Avadia's opinion, even though some argue. 128, it is preferable not to change from Shabbat clothing to weekday clothing until after Melave Malka. Some women have a custom of not refraining from sewing on Motzei Shabbat. This custom comes from the opinions that state the woman would refrain from other melachot Motzei Shabbat in honor of the Shabbat, Melave Malka. However, it's only a custom, and not everybody has that custom. Therefore, it's technically permitted. You're allowed to cut your hair or your nails Motzei Shabbat. It's a good skula 131 to take a hot shower or bath on Motzei Shabbat. The Gemara says it's good for your health. 132, it's good for your health also to have hot bread or hot drink Motzei Shabbat. That's Gemara Sech Shabbat, Kuf Yutet. 133, some people have a custom of refolding their talit Motzei Shabbat in order that they should keep it nice and clean for the next Shabbat, because there's a mahloket if you're allowed to fold your talit on Shabbat on the lines. That's we're going to learn later. That's a problem of giving the press, flattening it on the lines again makes it brand new again. So therefore, that's considered maybe tikkun kli. Refurbishing the vessel, establishing it as brand new and remaking it into a vessel, and that's a stems from that melacha. So therefore, so many people have the custom of leaving their talit like this balagan whole Shabbat, and then they fold them in hagis to fold it in Motzei Shabbat. 134. There's an ancient custom to draw and drink water from a well or a natural spring after Shabbat. There is a kolbo. There's sages who say that the Miriam's well, Be'er Miriam, flows through the wells and the natural springs of Motzei Shabbat. So anybody who has the ability to get from those waters, maybe is drinking from Be'er Miriam, will instill with him a lot of holiness. The kolbo says a story of there was a man who had a lot of leprosy, boils all over his body. He sent his wife to go get water. She took a long time, and she brought water from Be'er Miriam without realizing, and he got angry at her that she took too long. He yelled at her, and he scared her, and then she dropped the buckets, and the water spilled all over the floor. And a few droplets flew onto him, and wherever the droplets fell, it healed him. And the Gemara says, look, a person who gets angry, he doesn't gain anything but anger. And look, he could have healed himself with that water if he would have showered with it, and he wasted the opportunity because he got angry. So a person has to be careful, Motzei Shabbat, not to get angry and not to waste his time. And 135, before Chatzot Motzei Shabbat, one should not recite vidui in the Kriyat Shema Lamita. But if it's after Chatzot, you still say vidui. Baruch Ma'olam, Amen.